Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video. Thank you all the members. All the patrons, make sure to subscribe. We are trying to hit 50,000 subscribers. And let's get going. So yeah, we're going to fly the F-14 with the new maps. One of the kings of BVR. Obviously an aircraft that was made for this type of thing. So let's see how it performs. I had an amazing match, man. I was killing like 4 people from BVR, and then I don't know why, but the light just went down and up like really quickly, and my PC just rebooted. And I was, oh my god, I lost the recording. Because you have to actually finish the thing, you know? So, I got so mad, oh my god. But I had some pretty okay battles after that as well. And here we have some. And yes, I'm using the same tactic that I'm normally using with the Yak and the MatAWG. But there is a major problem with the F-14, and I plan to do a 1v1 video in a BVR to see if the F-14 can still be the BVR king, or the BVR god, if you will, in War Thunder. Because, yes, I'm hitting targets, as you're going to see very shortly. But the thing is, yeah, poor MatAWG fun, right? It is very difficult to climb on this thing as fast as an Yak does or a MatAWG does. So it has the problem of just being slow, actually, and just taking a lot of time to actually climb. Not that it's slow, but it takes more time than a MatAWG or a Yak would be having, right? And that might be a problem, because you will be kind of slow, and while you are climbing, you already will have to shoot the missiles, so you don't have the perfect kind of situation for a missile shot, for a very long range shot like 70 plus kilometers, because once you are already in the battle and in the altitude, you're already at like, I don't know, 40-30 kilometers from the targets, right? So it's something that it kind of bothers me a little bit. I think an interceptor, after all, needs to have the performance in the climb and acceleration. It just needs. Every single interceptor that I love always had that. So flying the F-14 kind of makes me wonder what an aircraft such as the MiG-25 would be like. But still, it is still one of the kings because it has this amazing AWG-9 radar. Has its problems, it is easy to notch it, but still, people need to learn a little bit more on the BVR kind of situation. If you don't know already, guys, if you climb above like 5 kilometers, you will get shot in these maps, okay? You will get a Sparrow or a Phoenix or an R-27 or even a Super 530. Missiles like that will come to you and you will get destroyed if you don't pay attention. So yes, we don't have the greatest RWR ever right now that tells you launch warnings or something like that, but still, you need to pay attention on the RWR because you are going to get destroyed if you don't pay attention. It's just a fact. And not even by F-14s. I see a lot of F-14s just going straight to the enemy while not having, while being locked or something like that, and actually getting killed by an R-27. And so it's not just that the F-14 is the god that it's ruling right now. It is just a matter of other countries actually having to do, to be able to do that as well. But yeah, it's complicated, I know, but it is still fun to fly. And yeah, it's an aircraft that I think is just one of those that it can be amazing at certain ways that you fly, and it can be bad in other ways. So I still advise you guys to use it as a platform for flying high and just getting people from far away. And then if you need to, get into a dogfight, because if you get into a dogfight against the MiG-29, for example, it's not that it's like, oh my god, it's going to destroy you, but it has a little bit more chance to kill you, and the F-16 as well. So I would just try to use the radar as the best thing about this radar. I think these maps really open the idea of using aircraft the same way as you use a tank, right? So if a tank destroyer, if you use a tank destroyer, it's better for certain sniping kind of situations and positions. If you use an MBT is another thing, and if you use a heavy tank is another thing, and each tank will have kind of a different playstyle. And with these bigger maps, it's not just who turns better and who can have a faster missile will get the kill. It will be more of strategy and actually using the aircraft that you are using to its full potential. So if you are using F-14, I think the major part, the most advanced thing about this aircraft, the best part about this aircraft is the BVR capabilities. Even though, yes, you can dogfight, and if you are good enough, you can beat basically anything, but still, it is way better at doing BVR than anything else. And you have to exploit this. And these bigger maps really does help it. I still think that the EC maps, yes, they can be a little bit boring, I know. I still think that we need the medium maps that we are having, right? Like Sinai and stuff like that. There are maps like that you take off from 70 to 80, maybe 90 kilometers depending on the map, from each other, and not like 120 or something like that, 110, I don't know, that the EC maps are. It feels, and especially only be to like the highest of the highest ranks of the game, right? I don't want to fly a MiG-21 F-13 in these maps, especially the EC ones, because it is obviously going to be boring. But the game is supposed to be kind of fast-paced, but we don't need that much, you know, like the small maps that it was before. And I think that was the main reason that I never liked the F-14 before. I still don't like it too much. I think it's too sluggish, but that I can get around if it has engine. But it doesn't have a lot of power compared to some others, so it kind of becomes a very limited aircraft in that sense. For me, you know, personally, I like a very more nimble, or at least a fast accelerating specifically aircraft, and that's why I love MiGs so much, because they're exceptional at that. So yeah, it's not my type of aircraft that I like to fly the most, but it is indeed fun to use, especially the TOMCAT, which is a very famous and iconic aircraft. In these maps, you can actually put those missiles to the test. As you see, I missed the Phoenixes, but there's no problem in that. The Phoenix is a missile that it is not the greatest thing ever. That's why I actually want to make a video comparing the Yak-41 to the F-14, because I really do feel that the R-27s in the game are way more reliable than anything that the Americans have, in the sense of just hitting a target constantly. The F-14 is a very good example with that, because the radar can lose lock a lot. But the thing is, if you lose a lock on a Sparrow, it just dies. The missile it's hard to actually make it. If you're really quick about it, you can make it work, but it is hard to make it work. And the Phoenixes, they don't turn too much. So it is, even though it is very good at that, it is limited at the same time, right? And something like a MiG-29 or even the MiG-23s, they have the R-24s, the R-27s, they have specifically the INS, which makes it a much more reliable weapon, because you can actually, it doesn't matter if you lose lock, you still have a lot of time to reacquire lock or change the aircraft that you're firing. So it just makes more sense in that area, right? So I still think that in a general sense for BVR, if you learn how to use it, you will have more success on the F-41 and even in the MiG-29. But the F-14 is that one of those aircraft that it will never be bad, I think, right? Maybe in the far future when we get finally like 90 stuff with very advanced Fox 3s and other missiles like that, and very advanced radars like PESAs and AESAs, then I think the F-14 will be like missing a lot. But right now, man, it is perfect. And I think it's one of the most fun aircraft to do and actually learn BVR if you are an American main. The F-16, it's a lot more simple, but in the F-14 you know how to learn how to properly use more the capabilities of a BVR kind of situation, and that's just due to the range on the radar. I mean, you have a lot more situational awareness, and with that you can actually choose your targets a lot more carefully and just engage them whenever you want better. And that's just one thing that a radar can do. As you see here, I detected these targets from like 80 kilometers, something like that, and it was a MiG-21. So yeah, it's, you know, it helps a lot to find the targets and be able to engage in them the way that you want. But anyway, I want to know from you guys, what do you think about the F-14? Do you think it is still the king of BVR? Do you think it is the best BVR weapon on the game? And do you think the bigger maps, like I do you think the bigger maps actually helped an aircraft like this? I think it does a lot, and it just favors an aircraft like this a lot more than a MiG-21, for example, of course. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe. We are trying to hit 50k until the end of the year, and I see you guys on the next one. Bye guys, see you.